Welcome back to Sawtooth Tactical. Today I want to talk about firearm staging, like staging for home defense type of scenarios. I remember when I bought my very first pistol, and I would honestly lay there at night thinking about how I could stage it to be ready in case I ever needed it, but also have it locked up safely. At the time, I had a young daughter. I say at the time because now she's not as young. And so I was worried about her being able to gain access to my pistol. But at the same time, to me, it made no sense to have a pistol that I couldn't gain access to myself very quickly in case I ever needed it. Well, I wish that at the time I had known about StopBox, but I'm not even sure they existed yet. This video is going to be about StopBox. Not only this, which is their StopBox Pro, but also the StopBox chamber lock. And yes, I have been sponsored by StopBox for the past 4 months, but full disclosure, that sponsorship ends at the end of January. This is the last video. They don't even know that I'm doing a full-length video. The contract is just for 30-second ads, but I never felt like I could fully explain the actual benefits of this product in a 30-second ad, and so I felt like it was worth doing a full video on because even though we're no longer going to be working together, I really do think that they make a great product that has a lot of benefits for most gun owners. Like I said in the intro, when I bought that first pistol, I don't think StopBox was a thing yet, because I'm pretty sure I would have found it if it was. I was really on the hunt for a solution. Something that I could lock my gun up, but also be able to get to it very quickly if I needed to, like in the middle of the night, if someone was breaking into my home or something like that. The whole point of a firearm is to be able to protect yourself and your family and possibly your home, whatever else. And if it's locked up in a safe, I mean, you're not going to have enough time to get to it, most likely. So what I bought, and I still have, and I still use, is like a bedside safe that I punch in a code and it pops open. And that was my solution at the time. Now, many years later, I've got lots of different gun safes, lots of different things, but I find myself using these stop boxes all the time. And they even have a bunch of great accessories that makes them even more usable. But let me explain this thing really quick for a minute. It's made of like high impact polymer, which is just a fancy way of saying super tough plastic. It is not a safe. So just so you're aware, somebody could take this and go away with it and they would then have your pistol. It doesn't take the place of a real safe. And I have real safes that all of these go in when I'm done filming. But the cool thing about this is, unlike my safes, unlike my little bedside solution that I got years ago when I got that first pistol, this doesn't use any electronics whatsoever. It's all mechanical. And there's 81 different combinations that you can use, but it also has a very specific technique that you need to use to be able to get into this. And I'm going to show that technique here in a couple minutes. I'm going to open one up real quick. And you see how fast I did that. This is the same one I was just holding. So if you know the technique and you know the combination, it is very quick and easy. And you can see the combination I have set for this one right here. This one's still set at the factory combination, which uses your thumb, your pointer finger, and your ring finger. But you have to do those in a specific order, and you have to push pressure down on the thing to be able to do it properly. So even if somebody was able to figure out your combination, they'd still have to be able to figure out what the technique is to open this. Now inside, it has a pretty good amount of room for a full-size pistol and an extra mag or two if you need. So this is a full-size M&P 2.0 here with an optic and a light. And as you can see, I've got extra room for mags or whatever else you might need to put in there. And so I use this when I go traveling all the time, but I use it for more than that too. So if I come home and I want to pull my concealed carry gun out of my holster, out of my waist, I can put it in here. And if I want to have that gun with me anywhere in the house while I'm making dinner, whatever, if I'm out on the back porch, out in the backyard in the summertime, barbecuing, I can literally just take this with me, set it on the barbecue, and I have my gun next to me, but it's not visible for anybody else. If you're using one of the just straight up black ones, it literally just looks like a box. Nobody's gonna have any idea what it is, but you're totally protected at a moment's notice. And before we get deeper into this and exactly how you use the thing, I want to talk about this video's sponsor, which is Aura. So you can see I'm really into security. Well, Aura gives you all of your online security. And again, as I've said in the past, all of your online security all in one place. It stops you from getting scam calls. It stops you from getting spam calls, but it does a lot more than that as well. I've been using it now for over 10 months, and it's made a huge difference in my life, and it can in yours as well. If you use my link down below, aura.com/sawtooth-tactical, you're supporting Sawtooth Tactical, this YouTube channel, and what I do here directly. But you're also getting yourself signed up for, again, what I've been using for 10 months, and has actually kind of changed my life in a positive way. I don't get spam anymore. I don't get scam calls anymore. All of my password management is in one place. They protect my home title. You know, I have a mortgage. I'm buying my own home. I don't have to worry about anybody getting my mortgage, my home title out from underneath me. They have parental controls if you want to use them. Literally all of the different products that are online security, they just put it all in one package. And it's super easy to set up. It takes literal minutes. And then the first thing they do is they go online and they find everywhere where your information has been leaked. And if you've been on the internet in the last 10 years, your information is out there. But Aura, they find it. They find everywhere where your information is out there, both on the regular internet and the dark web. They find all the data brokers that are selling your information to scammers and spammers and advertisers and anybody else, and they opt you out from that, and they show you a list exactly of what you've been opted out of, and then you don't get scammers and you don't get spam anymore, and it's really awesome. So if you want to try it for free for 2 weeks, that's 14 days, use my link down below. That's aura.com/sawtooth-tactical. Now back to the StopBox and what I use these for. Because like I said, I couldn't really show you guys exactly how good this thing was in a 30-second ad. And that's kind of frustrated me over the last 4 months. So I wanted to show you for real. So again, I use this for traveling. When I just went and visited my family for Thanksgiving and again for Christmas and New Year's, well, I brought this M&P in a StopBox with 2 spare mags. It was super easy to just throw in the truck with everything else when I was packing and getting ready to go. But speaking of the truck, this one literally stays in my truck. And you see this cable here? Well, every StopBox has a spot that's built in. You can buy this cable separately on their website. And this, so you see how I have it in a loop? So you loop that around the hardware underneath the driver's seat of your car or your truck. And then this is securely attached to your vehicle. And so in that way, it does kind of work as a safe then. And so I can keep, you know, of course, I like to conceal carry, like the P365 XL here, or the Smith & Wesson Shield Plus Carry Comp. These are both fantastic pistols, but they're also relatively small pistols, and I do feel like I shoot things like the full-size M&P a little bit better, and it has more capacity. A little more firepower is never a bad thing. And so a lot of the times, besides my concealed carry gun, I've got something a little bit bigger, a little bit more controllable in this StopBox underneath the seat of my truck. And if someone did happen to break into my truck, they would have a very hard time stealing this unless they somehow cut through this cable. And most thieves are not going to be that prepared. And so in that way, this works great. I used to have something similar that was this like metal one that needed a key. It got banged up, dented up, and I don't use it anymore. This StopBox has taken the place of that. It's thinner than that. It is a little bigger in the other dimensions, but that means that I can fit a bigger gun in it. But again, it's also extremely quick and easy for me to access with one hand, even while I'm driving if I needed to, right down below my legs. Now another accessory that they have as far as security goes for your StopBox is a lock. Now this is just a standard lock, but again, you can get it from StopBox. And the thumb button here has a hole in it. Put the lock through the hole, lock it up, and again, even if somebody can figure this out, now they can't get into your StopBox. And so for like longer term storage solution, I think that a lock is a good way to go. Key, lock comes out, and then your StopBox opens just like normal. And then they have the ultimate accessory, which is the StopBox AR-15 Chamber Lock Pro. And this thing is sweet. They actually just sent this to me like 2 weeks ago, and I've been using this again at night for home defense staging. So what I use it for is this. My home defense gun is my 300 Blackout SBR. Suppressed, short. It is, in my opinion, the perfect home defense gun. But again, just like my thoughts with my very first pistol, you want it to be readily accessible to you as quickly as possible if you ever needed it, but you want it to be safe so that someone that shouldn't have access to it, can't cause a problem. Well, let me show you how this thing works. Lock your bolt back. And this works in very much the same way as the actual StopBox. Put your code in, and it slides right into the chamber of your AR-15. And I've used it on all of these. It works on all of them just fine. Some optics can kind of get in the way of it. But again, this is the one that I use it for. This is my home defense setup. And I like it because now what I can do is I can keep a full magazine. This is not a full magazine, but I can keep a full magazine in it, bolt locked to the rear. And if I needed to get to this thing very quickly, all you do, put in your code, that quick and easy, drop the bolt on that full magazine, and your gun is in battery, safety, trigger, you're good to go. It is literally that quick. And like, when I say that quick, let's just do it again really quickly so you guys can see, because I was doing it slow for the video. It can be very, very quick. Chamber's locked in, grab this, drop the bolt, and you're good to go. Like, it really doesn't add any time to getting your firearm up and ready to shoot. But at the same time, it keeps it 100% safe. The only person that knows your code is you. The only person that knows how to use it is you. You can use 81 different combinations. You can change them if you need to, if somebody figures it out. And this thing, it is not going anywhere unless you put in your code. So this gun is totally inoperable to anybody but me right now. Put it in, drop the bolt, and the gun is ready to shoot. I think that that is pretty sweet, and I'm going to continue using this chamber lock. This thing sits beside my bed at night, goes in the safe in the morning when I go to work. This has been on it lately, and that way I can keep a full magazine in it with the bolt locked back, and my home defense 300 Blackout SBR is as ready as it could be for someone that has, kids living in the house. So now I want to show you how easy this thing is to use. You can see full-size M&P, spare mag, and it'll fit a couple of spare mags, but just to kind of give you an idea. Optic, light, this is a full-size gun, and there's still plenty more room. You could fit a full-size, 2011 in here if you needed to. Push it shut, that's all it takes, and now this thing is totally secure. Nobody, again, can get into it except for you. Now, the code from the factory, again, is pointer finger, ring finger, thumb. But you can change this to anything that you want. Again, 81 different combinations. But even if I just put those in, look, it's not opening. There is a technique to it, and if you don't know the technique, it's not going to open. But with a little bit of practice, it becomes very easily. So put in your fingers first, and then you push down with your hand and do the thumb, and it opens very easily. So with a little bit of practice and doing it a few times, you get it every time, and the thing is super easy. Now, say it's dark at night. Well, it is very easy to fill these. So it's not like having push buttons or a keypad or even a thumbprint that you have to find in the middle of the night. if you just, run your hand over this box, feel where these are, you're going to be able to open it in the dark, no matter what. And then if you're smart, well, then your pistol has a light on it and you're good to go there. So I think that it is kind of the perfect home defense staging safe. Now, I put safe in quotes because it's not a safe. Again, someone could walk away with this and then use some tools, whatever, and, have your pistol. Don't treat it like a safe. That's not what it is. It's literally just a secure box for your gun to prevent, unauthorized access to it, but also to give you very fast access. And that is the biggest thing with home defense staging. Safe from unauthorized access, but very quick and easy access for you. And again, if you don't do the technique just right, it's not going to work. If you put your thumb in first, it'll open only if your hand is pushing on it at the same time. So all 3 fingers, or whatever you set your code to, but you have to push down for it to work as well. If you don't push down, it will not work. If you do, it's extremely easy. And so I just wanted to demonstrate that because, I don't know. I just think that they came up with a really good product here. And so even though we're not going to be working together anymore, I still felt like it was worth showcasing this product. I'm sure if you watch gun channels on YouTube, you've seen this. There's a lot of people working with StopBox, but I felt like it deserved a full video of its own. But let me know if you agree with me. Do you use a StopBox? What do you think about them? Because I think that a lot of people don't really understand exactly what this is for. For me, it's for home defense staging, it's for traveling, it's for being able to keep a bigger gun in my truck that's, hooked to the truck. It's for all those things. It's for preventing unauthorized access to your pistol. But again, very quick and easy for you to get into it without an issue. And that is kind of the sweet thing about it. And the fact that they have one for an AR-15 chamber as well, I think is pretty sweet. So even though StopBox isn't going to be sponsoring the channel anymore, I think I am going to sign up with their affiliate program. And so hopefully I'll have a link and a code here for you guys soon. If not, we'll just see how it goes. But I do like their products, and I thought that they were worth doing a full video on. Because I've done a lot of videos about, firearm storage, firearm staging over the few years that I've been doing this channel, because I do remember when I bought my first pistol, that was a big deal to me, was to figure out a solution to store and stage my gun. And now that I have multiple guns, I have multiple guns to store and stage. But, a gun that is locked up, a gun that is empty, that's not loaded, does you no good. You can keep a loaded gun in here because nobody can get to it except for you. You can keep a full mag in your AR and have it out by your bed because nobody can get to it besides you. And so the guys that came up with StopBox, they must have been thinking the same thing as me. I know that it's a family-owned company. They have a daughter that shoots competitions and stuff. I think that that's really cool. And so if you are a gun enthusiast, you have kids, even if you have just friends that come over, most people are not as responsible as you if they're not gun owners themselves. And you probably don't want them to have access to your guns unless you're out at the range showing them how to use them safely. And so with StopBox, you can do that very easily. But again, I want to know in the comments if you guys use StopBox or if you have a different solution that you like to use, or if you have any questions about this for me. I'd be happy to answer them because I have been using these things for the past 4 months and I've been really happy with them. If you guys enjoyed this video, please give me a like. Make sure you subscribe to Sawtooth Tactical. And from Sawtooth Tactical, stay strapped or get clapped.